You know, if we're honest, I think we all would admit we have some pain inside. Maybe we have some brokenness or a broken heart, or maybe our relationships are strained. Maybe we have anger that flares up and surprises us and does some real damage, or maybe we feel anxious all the time or depressed. And if you're ready to get to the bottom of that and allow the Lord to bring you truth in those places, then Transformation Prayer Ministry at Serenity Retreat is going to help you. It's not a little Band-Aid at all, and it's not like medication or psychotherapy. It's actually going to the root of what's troubling you and allowing the Lord to bring you truth.
One day they did a test and told me that I had a malignant breast neoplasm. It was grade 3, which is the most aggressive. What happened the same week that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I lost my job. And also within like a 6-month period, 3 of my best friends moved, 2 of them out of the country, and they were my strongest prayer warriors. And I had 2 friends who died. And I just felt like I was walking a tightrope and was going to fall off without a safety net, that it could happen just at any minute. Serenity Retreat was able to schedule me each week during the 4 weeks of radiation. And each week I came in and it helped me to move from feeling like I was shipwrecked to beginning to move to the truth that Jesus was with me, and instead of being on a tightrope, I began to see that He was by my side and I was walking a wider path on level ground, that He was next to me. And looking at the past and how God had always taken care of me, because I'd gone through a lot in my past. About 6 weeks ago, I guess, I had my first mammogram since I was diagnosed a year ago with breast cancer, and I'm cancer-free. So I told my radiologist, I said, I really believe that going to Serenity Retreat supported and reinforced the healing process of the radiation.
What Serenity Retreat has done for me is given me a way to pray and a way to connect what's going on in my life with what God wants for me. As a parent of teenage girls, I would get angry when I would see things that didn't track with what was right. In other words, they would be disobedient. I didn't know why. I would just expect them to toe the line. And so I didn't control my anger very well, and it usually resulted in an unfair punishment of some sort. We worked through some of those things after my session here, and I think we're on pretty solid ground now. I learned through Serenity Retreat that there's a connection in your head already with what's wrong. And all you need to do is, through your memories, find what it is that is the source of that thing that's wrong. In other words, why was I fearful and angry about these things? And I had to look a little bit into my own childhood. It took me all the way back to when I was a youngster and interaction with my own father at one point. And I said, God, what do you want me to know about this? And He brought me to the point where He said, my dad was angry because he was worried about me. He was upset because he loved me.
My son JJ was born with a rare genetic disorder. It caused a lot of seizures, and when he was 3.5 and I had a 6-month-old little girl at the same time period, both my kids were dying, literally before my eyes. And she was born with the same genetic disorder. It had never been seen before in my family, and I ended up with 2 little kids that were very sick. I really struggled through all of that, but on October 12th, 2008, my son passed away in the middle of the night. I heard the beginnings of a seizure that night, and I pushed the volume down, and I was getting up so that the crying didn't wake my husband, and I was gonna get up, and I fell back asleep. And the next morning he was gone, and so that was not peaceful because I felt like I had a hand in my own son's passing. Kathy prayed with me right there over the phone, and the Lord ministered to me, and He ministered to me that it was Him that called JJ home, and it was not anything that I could do to keep him alive one more day or to prevent what happened. And just extreme peace surrounded me. And I was able to let that part go where I know that it has had the potential to plague me for years.
I was very depressed, had lots of self-loathing, felt like I never fit in. I would be in a crowd of people and just feel invisible and sad, lots of sadness. And then when I did find my way to Serenity Retreat, there were such loving, wonderful people there. I went through my first prayer session. They guided me. They asked me gentle questions and helped me go back to an early time in my life, even in childhood, when I felt very depressed and anxious and not worthy. And while I was in that memory, feeling these painful things, they asked the Lord for His perspective for me at that time. And He said to me, "You are worthy. I created you to be the person that you are. I'm always with you." And it just filled me with a peace that I've never had before. It just set me free. I just know now that He does love me, that I am worthy, and I have gifts. I can use those gifts to help other people. It's just set me free in so many ways.